Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. I am pleased to have back this week Paul, aka White Dragon,
Hello,
and
everybody.
and Diana Bowles, Oilpainter. And the good news is that this is also simulcasting on Diana's channel.
Somebody let me know.
Yeah.
It's known as the singing and dancing warrior.
That's right.
I always have to say that because it's true. It's true. I mean, she does get a lot of work done.
She does.
A lot of
She does.
So that's usually that's how she's known.
So if I see somebody that I know for sure has your either that or I'm going to go over there and do it while Paul or you are talking about something, and you'll be able to see that person coming in from your channel. And so anyway, hello, Tiffany, Mousy, Divine Universe, Sarah, Naja. It's really nice to see you. Hi, Barbara Bergman. Great to see you as well. And we got, last time we had such a good time that we are going to make this, I guess, every other week if we can come up with stuff. We'll see. We'll see.
We'll find stuff to talk about. So
there's always things to talk about, Paul. Honestly, yeah. So hello, Melissa Speaks to Spirit. Oh, good. You just saw me on Mark's channel, and thank you for coming over to this one for this show. I appreciate you. Patricia Hernandez and Diane G is here. Yay! How wonderful.
Hello.
Yeah. So there's a whole bunch of different things that we talk about on this show. We don't have a structure really, but we're going to be talking about some solar flares. We're going to be talking about some other things that Paul was made aware of. We have a couple of people that left a few questions for us that we want to go through. And it may not be everybody's cup of tea because we do talk about ETs and things like that, planets and solar things, but we surely love having you all here. And if you have questions for our panel, please ask them in the chat. So hello, Lauren. Hello, Jen, Viviani, Rossi. Wow, we got a lot of folks here. So thank you for being here. Yeah. So I don't know, Rossi, if you can go over to see if Diana's channel is moving along, and you could say hello, because she is simulcasting and she'd love to know that somebody has seen it. Yeah.
And you're looking for the avatar that is a half moon with stars.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And you might have to subscribe to that. I don't know.
No, you can always go and do it. Yeah, it should be okay. Yeah, thanks. Whenever you get a chance. It's nothing you have to rush over to do.
Right.
So Melissa, we have Paul, who is also calls himself White Dragon. And Diana is above me here. And her channel is Oilpainter. And both of these gals and guys work with the extraterrestrials in some capacity. And not me. I'm just the host. So yeah. But we're looking forward.
I don't look like a dragon, so
well, no, but
I'm just a regular old guy.
Well, we're all regular old people, so what do you know? Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So we're going to start out with some information about sun activity. Okay.
Yeah.
And so we're going to talk first about this, and I'm going to let Paul go ahead and. Oh yes, there you go. Jay's on your channel. Jace.
Right.
Thank you. That's the funny thing. I'm trying to look at it from my phone and I can't.
I know.
I can only look at Aley's channel.
That's okay. That's okay. Now you know it works. All right. So go right ahead, Paul.
All right. This slide here this is some information I thought it's important right now, especially since all the sun activity that's going on. This is a picture of what happens with the Earth, and the Earth has a magnetic field around it, and it looks like the Earth is like a huge magnet in north and south, and it doesn't coincide with the actual north and south of the globe. It's off by a few degrees, and you can tell up on the top there. This is just to show you that it does have a magnetic field, and that fluctuates all the time. There are some people on the internet saying that that one's going down because we're in a cycle where it's going down, and sometimes they even flip around. North becomes south and south becomes north. So that's just so you understand where we're coming from. And then we're on to the next slide, if you can put it up.
Okay. I'll make sure I'm hoping this is the right one. Is that the right one?
Yeah, that's good. And we can talk about it.
All right.
This one ties in with some things that we're going to be talking about. And this is a picture from one of the NASA satellites. And they're called SOHO, NASA satellite pictures. If you want to look it up, I mean, you can actually go and see these pictures yourself for the day.
Sure.
And you know, based on today's or yesterday, there was supposed to be some huge. There was some that one's an old one. That it may be the reason I picked that one is because of the huge blob of wad of snot or sun snot or anyway.
Really?
The sun almost.
Would you get a Kleenex, please? Yeah.
Yeah. You want to say something about that, Diana?
Well, I do, because this I have seen, and it is from that huge hole that Stefan was talking about that has gone over the direct hit to Earth 8 times now. It just went across again, and I'm not sure. Don't think this was yesterday's shot, but on the March or April 24th or whatever that one was, a week ago Friday, that was shooting off continuously. That's that big hole where at one video he had said you could take 7 Jupiters and line them up side by side and fit it in that hole. Now, it's cooler inside the hole than it is around it. So when that blast starts to come out, it hits that heat and becomes this plasma that is directed towards us. So when your ears are screaming and your body is like, oh my God, why do I hurt so much? Or you can't lift your feet off of the ground. This is why.
Yeah.
It also enhances earthquakes, volcano activity. And the best place to get this information is from Stefan. Seriously, because he tries to keep us up to date, and he tries to educate at the same time.
Yeah. And wasn't there just 2 huge earthquakes in either Australia or New Zealand? I can't remember.
New Zealand. And I believe that it was 2 and then 2 more up at the top of the plate. So there was a 6.5 and a 6.8 that went on right at New Zealand. But at the top of that tectonic plate that he was talking about, there was first 2 5-pointers. Or 5 point something.
Yeah.
Can't remember what they were. But
yeah.
Right.
And those go ahead, Paul.
Yeah. That picture is just to illustrate some of the stuff that comes out of the sun. I mean, it's like the sun sneezes. Now, when the sneeze leaves the sun in this next picture, it goes out and it becomes like a solar wind kind of thing with very high charged particles, X-rays and gamma rays, and you name it, any kind of rays there is. So now when it hits the Earth, magnetic field, it looks like that. It kind of gets drawn out into like a cone in the back of the Earth. And that's what protects us. If it weren't for that, all life on the planet would die in hours or maybe minutes. When one of those things hit, it is that powerful.
Wow.
So the Earth does protect us normally. So you have any questions about that one?
Any thoughts about that? I love the fact that it looks like an angel.
Yes. And
if you twist your head to the left, it looks like kind of like an angel.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's a reaction that it takes a magnetic field, and because it is a charged particle, it's like little tiny magnets, and it kind of pulls the other magnet over, and it becomes like a cone. It doesn't show the whole thing, but it goes way out into space in a cone. So now the next picture.
Yeah, the next picture will show you how this shows up down here.
Yeah. And when it hits the Earth, it goes to the north and the south magnetic pole, and it shows up like that. And that's it. What we see as the aurora borealis.
Right.
And that's usually in the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere, because that's where the lines that we saw go in.
Right. Right.
So, when the lines go in, it's when that happens.
Well, think about how many centuries this was not known. This is, the gods are coming to get us. The Coke bottle's coming at us.
Run for your lives.
Right? And it wasn't until, 1930-ish, where they began to understand this, I believe. Don't quote me on the date. But also, they were making advancements in telescopes and understanding other planets that are out there, such as Pluto, and so on and so forth. And also, they didn't know where the wind came from. And now we understand that the wind comes off of the sun. That's what causes the wind around our planet.
Okay.
Yeah, there's actually two kinds of wind. There's a solar wind, which is what comes out of the sun, and there's the other is a galactic wind, which is much less, but it's still there. I mean, it's
still there.
It's atoms per cubic feet or some stupid thing like that. It's very, very low. One atom in every cubic, but it's still there. It's not as strong.
The gentle little breeze we may feel from time to time.
Right. So,
The will of the
the
wisp.
next picture here.
Yeah. So now are we going to the other pictures that you wanted downloaded?
Well, if you have any questions, based on this is just to feel on this. Now, I do have to say, when we tie in the galactics things, on it, and that I communicate with the ships, mainly the Athena, and I did ask her that what happens if there's a huge one coming towards us that could actually wipe out all, because that magnetic field could be in a low point. It's not as strong as before or anything like that. And the ship did say, hey, I got standing orders to extend my shields, and that it is that powerful. It can block most of the worst of the worst. So,
Okay.
The
ships are protected. Okay.
The Earth is protected. It's not like everybody knew, head for the underground. And these kinds of energies they flow through the Earth from one end to the other like a knife through hot butter. There's nowhere you can hide.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Aley, you didn't know the Northern Lights. We actually called due to the fact you must look north. And actually last year when we had some solar storms, and I think it still happened this year, it came down further. I live in the Seattle area, and we could see the Northern Lights there. They're usually only seen in higher, in the higher.
Right, because there was so much activity from the sun hitting the Earth that it did filter down towards the lower latitudes.
Yeah,
yeah,
it really is beautiful.
I see them from time to time here in Michigan. Always you can catch them in the Upper Peninsula, particularly in October and February in Marquette, which is up higher, and certainly across the Sault Ste. Marie and up into the Keweenaw Peninsula, which is the farthest northern point in all of Michigan. But, like if you could walk across the water there, you'd be in Canada in an hour.
Sure. Yeah, you're right on that cusp of there.
The other thing I want to say about that with the Stefan Burns YouTube channel. This is recently. I looked at it yesterday, and he did say one thing that got my attention, and that is that the sun spots, which is where all this stuff shoots out of, that has a potential to point to the Earth. It's reduced for some reason, and once it gets off that range where it could hit us, they start shooting off. And he says that's very peculiar. So I said, let me ask. So I asked the ship, do you have anything to do with this? And the ship said no, but there's another group doing it. So there's some more interaction going on right there that we're not aware that is protecting us. Now, Diana, when I talked to her today, she kind of picked on that it was 33 million angels or something like that.
The seraphim.
Yeah.
33 trillion angels of George.
Right. And then they're helping. They're helping. Everybody's we're not without protection. So that's the story that everybody needs to get. Sure. Yeah, but some people are affected. That's the bad part.
Yeah, it's true. So Naja wonders if the Northern Lights are a portal.
Yes.
And oh really? Okay. All right.
But the reason why is it is, it's coming out of these holes in the sunspots. Those are little holes. And so that ejection creates this. Well, you need a portal in order to come out of it, right?
Sure, of course. That makes sense.
But I have another theory about the Hadarians.
Okay. Because
they have no landing strip.
Oh. Okay.
And I don't know this for certain because I haven't been taken there, but I wonder, as the legend goes with them, if that's where they land.
Oh.
In the sun. Because their planet was blown up.
Oh. So they would have to have obviously some kind of vehicle that would have no issues with extreme heat. I mean, how could that be otherwise, right?
Right. And what if, there's this planet out there that just like Pluto gets poo-pooed and was back in the 30s, and just as Uranus was poo-pooed back in the 1700s, and just as Neptune got poo-pooed, the thing is there's this planet we cannot find that's called Vulcan. Can't see it because it's so close to the Earth.
Oh.
Now, astrologers use Vulcan because he is the first ray of power and strength when you open your eyes. It's your rising sign, it's your birth sign, it always is close to the sun.
Wow.
And so close that our telescopes can't get in there and pick that little dot. And so Stefan had done a show and he had this dot and he couldn't explain it.
Yeah.
And I posted the question for him. It was live. I posted the question. He didn't answer it till the next day. When he came back and answered it, he said, no, that can't be Vulcan. That's a mythical planet. Yeah, y'all said that about Uranus too. So I'm not going there.
Yeah.
Especially since he's an astrologer and he probably just couldn't, because before he's an astrologer, he's also a scientist.
Yeah.
So there's better proof for him, right?
Well, the Northern Lights those are very highly charged particles, and when they hit they go along the lines of the magnetic field, and then they hit the atmosphere of the Earth, and they excite the atoms of whatever's up there, and mostly hydrogen, whatever, and then based on how that glows, that it glows a different color.
Okay.
Remember a long time ago they were selling these globes where you could touch it with your hand and all these. Well, it's that kind of thing.
The Tesla.
The Tesla balls, they used to call them. I have one. I mean, I love it. It's very nice. So it's the same kind of deal. So that's pretty much it. If anybody doesn't have any more questions about that?
No? Anybody else? No? Okay. Yeah. Mary, Annie thinks of the Northern Lights as her ancestors or our ancestors talking to us. I love that.
I do too.
That's
I
there's all kinds of folklore stories about that, but it's my power bear, my power animal is the white bear. And today that bear was pissed. He was stomping his feet down so hard.
Oh,
He was like, "Thou shalt not pass." That was what he was saying. And the rumbling was going through the earth and out into space. I don't know what was going on, but let me tell you, he was pissed.
He was pissed. Oh, wow.
So that's maybe this guy has something to do with it. I don't know.
Well, let's move from that before we get to the beautiful figures and some of the questions. You wanted to bring up the what we brought up on the Dream Show, I think it was, which was Tatsuki's prophetic dreams, Paul. And you wanted to bring
yeah. I looked him up a little bit. The guy's name is I wrote it down. Ryo Ryo Tatsuki. Tsuki. And he wrote some mangas, and the mangas is like the Japanese comic books.
Yeah.
And they put a lot of stories. And this guy's famous because he wrote a lot of stuff, and they kind of happened.
Everything happened.
Except
it's a woman.
Except for July.
Mary says,
what does he know that we don't? So
it's a woman. It's not a man.
Yeah, right. You're right.
Okay.
I did find that out, but I don't know why everybody calls him here. I mean, I can't tell. Rio doesn't.
Yeah, it's hard to tell when you don't know their language.
So anyways, for some reason, July the 5th showed up. That date, July, and as a possible earthquake, tsunami kind of thing that happened in Japan, and the anime, which is based on the manga stuff from Japan, this is a common subject where tsunamis come in and wipe out Tokyo. It's always Tokyo, like it's always New York.
Yep.
So July the 5th, and I've been warned about something that's going to happen based on the Earth. Natural disasters. This is part of Gaia. And by the way, I just move aside. This is Gaia right here. I made this. This is how she showed up, and I have a story to tell. Whenever I feel like down and stuff, I always go to my ship, and I have like a lounge there with big comfy chairs, and I called in the ships that I deal with. They're Arcturian beings, they're actual beings that ships our life, and they show to me as people, and this time I invited the Athena in my ship, the Diana, which they picked those names themselves. So we're sitting around shooting the bull, and because they know that sometimes I need to be relaxed, and we're all but this time it was weird because everybody was wearing their Arcturian skin costume. I call it the costume. You know how Dr. Gill talks about sometimes how she put on this whale costume on and she became it was like that, but everybody was an Arcturian. And so I said, "Oh, really?" So I went and switched to my Arcturian. So we're all like blue little people with big heads and big black eyes or whatever. So we're sitting around shooting the bull, and then Michael shows up. That's Archangel Michael. But he shows up in Arcturian form, but he's Michael's huge. He's like 12 feet. So here's this huge, humongous Arcturian sitting on this little tiny couch, like those kindergarten chairs that they have in kindergarten for little kids. So you have this huge thing. So we're going, okay. So every time that happens, the whole thing turns into a meeting. So the next thing we went into the meeting room, and then we're talking, and Gaia shows up like that. like in that picture. And that's where I got the description for that. She shows up and she starts talking. Hey, I need some help here, and and she made a plea. She says, I want people. This is a message. I want people to send me as much positive energy as possible for the next time period that we have here, because there's going to be a lot of disruptions. And what I'll do is I'll take that and it won't be as hard as it could be possibly. So that's the message with Gaia.
Okay.
And that's kind of like I'm passing the message along.
Sure.
And the other thing is that, once we finally go to 5D permanently, everybody who's going to stay behind stays behind in 3D. Everybody, we skip 4D altogether.
Right.
Boom,
Right.
we over,
Boom into 5D.
skipped over and went straight to 5D. Once that happens, she's going to retire. She's already said that. And the new one that's going to take over is this one here, and it's a water being.
Yeah.
So I guess this is her debut or sorts. The previous Gaia was an earth being, and this one's a water being, because the planet's going to have a lot more water than we have right now.
Okay.
And I was talking to Heather, Diana Heather.
Yeah. Crown zone.
We were talking about it, and then she kind of agrees with me about all these changes. Like half of Texas is going to be gone. The middle states are going to be gone. Parts of the West Coast, but not entirely. I think the East Coast is going to be okay, but the United States is going to be broken into two. It's going to be like a huge sea going through it. It's going to be.
Have you seen the I Am America map? Have you ever seen
that? I have seen that. It's similar. It's similar, but it's going to be a lot of states are probably going to disappear. The United States is going to be broken in two. It's probably going to be two governments. It's in the future. I'm not going to say when. I don't know when. I probably won't even see it. But that's when the new water beings will take over. So that's basically the message I wanted to say about that. And I don't know. Do you have any more comments on that, Diana?
No. I'm trying to find out what her name is, but she's not saying.
No, I don't know her name, and I don't know her name. It's kind of strange. And the other one I wanted to talk about was the White Tara. The White Tara was something. The Tara is a Buddhist deity from the Tibetan side. And I felt that there was a Buddhist deity coming around. So I felt this. I got a hold of Dr. Gill. She's really good about this stuff and names. And I said, hey, I have this thing that I'm feeling here. And she goes, oh, yeah. It's kind of like a Tara with a big fancy sword. And it's a high order angel that was formless. It was so high, it was formless. And this angel likes to come down here, take form to help us out. And then she has this sword that it's and I made this picture, by the way, from the description. And because it is
the other one.
This is the first one I made, but this kind of looks like a Buddhist deity.
Yeah.
It's okay.
There are two, right, Aley?
What's that, hon?
There are two Taras.
Oh, there are more than two. There's green, red, and white.
One for every color.
But
pretty much.
But this one's specifically white. Not there's a green one and this. I don't know how many colors.
And there's a red one.
White. And Dr. Guess said, it shows up as an angel to me. And I said, well. Then I asked, are all Taras angels? And I got the answer, yes, they are. So I suppose that they are. I'm not denying that they're not.
They're actually the representation of the Buddha. They are the female representation of the Buddha.
Yeah, right. So anyway, she came around and she gave me this sword, and the sword with all the colors. The next picture.
Yep.
Let's see if you can find it.
This one?
No, the sword itself.
I never saw the sword, Paul. I never saw it. I'm sorry. I can go back.
That's okay. That's all right.
Yeah.
Anyways, this other sword is different. It has a gold handle, and it has like the blade is like a crystal. You can see right through it, but inside of it is like moving different colors, and it's a healer.
Oh, I see it. I'm gonna download it. I'll download it. Yeah.
So, anyways, that she gave me that sword. I mean, usually when they give me a sword, they want me to use it for something. I don't know what. I mean, I'm trying to figure it out. I know that it is a healer sword. I don't know what the healing function is going to be for. I already used it on Diana.
Well, I look at the glow on that and I think of being how you cauterize a wound or an incision. You take a hot knife and you lay it on there and it seals the skin together, right?
Yeah. But look at, if you can see it, it's got the pi symbol on it.
Yeah.
And it's got another symbol to the right. There's an X on it. There's a K.
Chi.
Yeah. And there's something like circular.
Spiral.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those colors are like swirls. It's not like circles. It moves around, and it's like the sword is alive. And then I also got that it's a demon slayer.
The singing.
I don't know what for. I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. Maybe something.
I love it though because it's like a crystal sword.
It is like a crystal sword.
Yeah.
It's not like the other swords that I use, but this one is special. So, anyways, I asked Diana, hey, maybe you can ask her, connect with her, because I've already talked to her, and she's very easy to talk to. And maybe if you can connect through, there is a mantra, the White Tara mantra. You can Google White Tara, and then you'll get like a mantra that you can say how to try to help you connect with it. And maybe you can ask her for a sword. I mean, I don't know, maybe this is how you get one. So Diana probably, I said, go ahead and ask. It's something that maybe you can use that to help you heal yourself.
Yeah. Miss Mims has a question. Yeah. Do the future or coming water beings have an off-Earth origin? She wonders if you guys know.
Maria.
Yeah, everybody's off Earth. I mean, nobody's real from here, native. I mean, the native got genetically altered by the Anunnaki.
Okay.
A long time ago. So but there's also been other civilizations. I think we're on the 5th or the 6th. I'm not exactly quite sure how many of them, but there has been many civilizations here that have come up and they moved on. They just did not stick around. So, but they come from somewhere. You don't just. There's nothing like native.
But wasn't there one of the planets that's completely water planet that people come from?
Oh yeah, there's planets all over the place, and there's water beings that live there underwater.
Okay.
That live here underwater.
And also, some of them are here, and there's it's legends of the mermaids. Those are actual ETs who live underwater. So
I love what Rossi just said, because when I see that sword, when I think of how we use a blade, how they used the blade during the Nordic days to cauterize a wound, right? To burn it shut so it wouldn't get infected. But now we have these Athene tools where it doesn't have to be hot heat. It can be white heat, which is like a quartz crystal.
Sure.
Or selenite or any other crystal that you can just rest against your skin and feel its effects.
Right.
A lot of that you're learning.
Usually these swords, how I use it. When I use it, I travel astrally there where it is. You know, I went to Diana's place and I gave her like a treatment with it. And what came out the tip was this energy that was like crystalline, living crystalline energy with colors all over the place. And then she got a treatment, and then I said, "Hey, how you feeling?" And she goes, "Yeah, I feel much better." So I mean, it kind of does work.
It does its work. Yeah, it does.
Well, and after having spoken to you earlier, Paul,
yeah,
I did call in White Tara, and it's taken a while, but it cleared. It lifted. The density has shifted outside. The sun is trying to come out. Actually, it's shining. And there we go again, blinded by the light.
Yeah. So you know, I don't. I mean, this is not just. And by the way, this special Tara, my guides. I have like 17 guides. I have a lot of them, and they switch back and forth. I mean, one of them goes away, another one takes over. This is one of them that just showed up recently.
Okay.
And I don't know how long she's going to be around. Maybe the previous one it's one of the cat people. What's the name of the
Laren.
The cat. This one turned out to be the cat lady. It's a lady. She's beautiful. Oh God, just drop that gorgeous. I made a picture of it, but I didn't send it to you because there's too many pictures to look at. So, but anyway, she's on some kind of council that advises me on the direct wars, because there is a big war going on right now, and you know it's off planet. People do not need to worry about it. It's nothing going to happen here. So.
We got enough problems.
We got enough problems down here right now, if you know what I mean. But I mean, that's usually what the situation is. Yeah. So anybody has any more questions here? Or?
Well, I'm going to move into some questions that people have asked as we've been going along, if that's okay.
How about those two questions? Those two questions that.
Yep. The first one we had was. From Play, Love, and Remember, and she left it. I had asked people to leave questions on the board, and I'll do it again for the next time we come in. That's fine. So she wonders who her 3 golden galactic guides, where they came from. She said it just revealed that I was with them from the same place. And so that's what she wants to know.
Well, I can only go by I'm not that good with.
I know. It's okay.
Or their names. I mean, that's Dr. Gills, because she's like superstar when she comes. But anyway, I don't know from experience that the only golden people that I have actually come into contact with was during one of my missions. I was doing some stealthy work. I was like a star, one of these spies somewhere. I was going through this hallway, and there was these aliens walking down the hallway, and one of them looked like a gray, a special kind of gray, but it had a big head, like a pumpkin size head, big thing. But it was totally gold. So I went to meld it into the wall, and I let the thing pass. It didn't look at me or anything, but I didn't get any bad vibes from that. And that was the only one I really, really saw close. The other ones that I know about are the beings from the Solaris system.
Okay.
Where the Solaris Healing Center is, and those people are usually gold color. Their skin is gold color. So maybe it's one of those.
Maybe. Diana, do you have any thoughts?
If you could bear with me for 1 minute, go ahead and get another question. I just read something in a race from outer space, all the races, and I can't remember what planet it is, so I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah, there's all kinds of different gold beings. I mean, there was another one that I heard about. I wasn't involved with this, but it was there's this place out in the desert, someplace where they have a lab where they do horrible things. It's called, one of the nicknames is nightmare hall in some mesa somewhere, Aluwata Mesa somewhere. Anyways, the guy went down there and he said he went deeper than the 7 levels, and he found some it looked like golden gorillas working with scientists, and he got rid of it, shut it all down. He said that, but I don't think these are the same kind of things.
No, it doesn't sound like it. Yeah.
These beings that I guess Peace was talking about, they're not this. These are her guides, and guides are not like that at all.
Correct. Well, what I got was that the Zeta Reticuli returned a favor to her, and she was having a parallel life with in an Essassani world, but then I also get a whale. There's a parallel life as a whale, which I know you can have more than one life. And then it came full circle, and she ended up on Sirius. So I'm wondering if, this is just showing the way that
Sirius
yeah.
B is.
Yeah, Sirius B.
There's a lot of like.
Yep.
Planets.
My husband's from Sirius B. Yeah, and I'm from. I was born here according to my chart, and then I went to Mintaka. That's where I lived for a while. So, but there aren't a lot of people that originated on the Earth, is what I was told. That a lot more people are starseed.
Well, Mintaka, that kind of sounds to me like the Pleiades. It's someplace around the Pleiades.
Yeah, it's on a star, I think, or they all are, aren't they?
It's on the Pleiades. Yeah. It's the system of the Pleiades. There's a lot of different races on there. It's not just the Pleiadians that look like beautiful Nordic people,
Yeah. Yeah.
Those women, let me tell you, those women are drop dead gorgeous. You just look at them and
look at that. I pulled Sirius again. So
you melt down the chair you're sitting on because they're so beautiful.
Wow.
So
all right. So play, I think you're from Sirius, and probably Sirius B.
It sounds to me. It sounds to me like that could be. It resonates. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And then you had another one from Mari, something like that.
Yeah, Erin Marie. Yeah.
Okay, Erin Marie. Okay, something about that. She wants to know if she has a role in healing the planet. That her guys.
Well, and I didn't know at the time that it was a question for today, and I said everybody does.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. What I have to say to that is that if she's asking about this, she's already doing it.
Right.
There's a lot of people doing that right now.
Yeah.
It's a group effort. It's all over the place.
It is. And we do every one of us makes a difference.
Yeah, she is helping, and she is also because of the Gaia situation where she asked for help, and that ties in with that. So this is how everything ties together. With it doesn't. It seems like it's not, but it is. It's like this. Everybody's working towards the same goals. So you have any more questions from that, or?
There's some here. Maureen, I believe all of us are star seeds. We've all lived on different planets. So we make the choice of where we want to live and what incarnations that we want to make. And I just so happened to have a really great reading with Deborah Zachow, who was able to tell me myself and my husband's star seed. But I really do believe we all have lived on other planets. So that makes us star seeds. Yeah. Earth was too dense to be born here. I don't know, Rossi. That's what I was told, that and there aren't very many people that have started out that way is what I.
Yeah. The thing here with 3D, it's very confining. I mean, you remember when you first wake up in the morning and you put your feet over the bed and you try to stand up and like that's that dense. And
Yeah.
you know, it's like the soul is huge. The soul, it's
Sure.
you can only squeeze so much into this little tiny body.
Right.
Into it. So it's like a tendril, and the rest of the stuff stays out here because it doesn't fit. So that's basically, it's very dense.
So I just want you to know that Deborah does a whole long explanation if you're interested in having it done that way. And I had it done probably a year or more ago. And of course, we got the cards and we can give you what we think we found. But I liked how she explained everything to me, including those parts of my personality that I carry from that place. And I don't know how she does it, but she does it. So if you're looking for somebody to do a reading on that particular thing, then send Deb Zacchau, Zachau, an email and ask her, what you want to ask her about it. So
yeah, it's right now the way I understand it, this life is the culmination of everything that you have ever been.
Yep.
Sometimes you have
true.
better lives or not so good lives, but this is the culmination. And then you're here for a reason, to learn something, or maybe you decided to come back here into this mess to fix something that needs fixing. I mean,
Sure.
it's that. I mean, personally, do I like it? Not too much.
I don't want to come back. No, I don't want to come back.
I mean, I don't. I told him, no, I'm not coming back unless you guys make a better deal for me. I'm tired of struggling.
Well, I know. And the thing is that we get over to the other side and they say, you sure you don't want to come back? And then you go, well, all right.
There was a meeting.
Diana, I can't hear you, honey.
You can.
Yeah.
Okay. There you are.
I'm sorry. My everything was still way out there.
Okay.
I was looking for the Goldens. I had just found it in all of this stuff, right? And I couldn't find it, so I apologize for that. They could also have a connection to Archangel Uriel and where he is from. But as far as your dying brother saying that we are from the giants, that is the classification of the L's. The L's are the Elohim. And the Elohim.
Oh, it's not the Anunnaki?
Well, it's all part of.
Okay.
The Elohim, right?
Yep.
So the L's are giants that are defined as L's, El and Anakims. I'm sorry, I said it wrong. Based on the myth, El Durace. Tied in with the ancient Hebrew traditions, which bring us to the Zoroastrianism and the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki of the Middle East, of Mesopotamia. But do not forget that we also had the Anunnaki of the Hopi, which were the little ant people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I also feel that most of those Egyptian gods with the weird heads, the animals, those were like Anunnakis also. So, I mean, there were some bad ones, and there were not bad. I still don't know. At first, I thought, well, they were messing with us here with genetics and all kinds of stuff. And if I ever meet one, I'd like to punch his nose out or something. But no, they left for a reason. They left or they got kicked out. I have no idea which one it is. I think they were kicked out. So,
yeah. And so many people, you're right, it's boring up there. Everything is really easy, and maybe we want to have some challenges, and so we decide that we want to come back.
Lord,
then we get here, we go, what's the matter with us? Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. There's a couple of things that people have put in here. Patricia Hernandez says that she has a picture of the Lyran, and it was a golden tabby cat. Well, I can imagine that would be atypical.
Right.
Paul has
and Lynx and Lionel and Chitar. What was her name? Chitar. My son was so into the Thundercats that I became a Thundercat fan myself.
Yeah.
Leah wants to know if I seen the avians. I personally have not. I know that they are. I used to call them the blue chickens.
Oh, okay.
Because they look like blue chickens.
Uh-huh.
And some of the people who said that but they're. I never actually interacted with them. The ones that I usually interacted with were the Arcturians and the Pleiadians. See, I identified with the Pleiadians a lot, but then I've been dealing more with the Arcturians, so I don't know which ones. I've probably been both. I don't know. I have no idea. But right now, it's mainly the Arcturians that I deal with.
Okay.
Yeah, according to this, they are the most advanced of all civilizations in the entire galaxy.
The avians?
The Arcturians.
Arcturians. Okay. Well, I sense that because when I ended up channeling them, it was like they just had all this really good wording, and they sounded like kind of like a recording, if in a way, but it was like so much intelligence. They could tell me from their language to mine. It was amazing. Yeah.
It's the Arcturians is from that star system. There's at least 4 different races that me and Dr. Dale have identified. The ones that we usually see are the ones that are blue with the big heads and big round eyes and stuff. But they are usually very high. By the way, I have 4 guides who are Arcturian. So,
okay.
A bunch that I have, 4 of them are Arcturians. So, but anyways, they have they come. They're very high. They're above 5D. They're 6, 7, or 8, and they only come down here for a reason, for a little while to be guides or whatever, or do whatever they do. So it's not like they're here down in 5D or even 3D, because I had seen one showed up one night on my bedroom doorway, and he was like a ghost. He was almost see-through. I had to like raise my consciousness up so high.
Wow.
He had to like bring down the all I could tell was that like basic big head and like a robe, but it was like I saw through it. I even made a picture of it once. So
Wow.
That's I don't know. And I talked to him for hours about different things. It was very easy to talk to them. It's like I'm talking to you.
Yeah. That's how I felt.
They're highly
highly
telepathic.
Yeah, definitely.
You're using, by the way, when you talk to them, you're using like language. You're not using words. You're using like
I know.
And the matrix for like language it changes into something that your 3D brain
that I can understand.
can understand.
Yeah.
So that's how that works.
Awesome. Yeah. So, Anya, I pulled your most present life off planet was Pleiades, and you worked sharing cultural ideas. It could be from other incarnations on other planetary places. And Kim, you've been told you are Arcturian, Sirius B, and then Lyran, and I do get Lyra. So, Yep. But what you got, Diana?
Well, let me just dig.
Okay. Wow. What does it say?
The violet flame.
Oh, okay.
Right, and that and the sound of the universe is coming from that frequency of that violet flame.
Okay. Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, the Pleiadians they look almost like us. They're maybe a little taller, but they live like 800 years. And they're the only thing that you can tell, I got huge ears, and they keep growing. They never stop growing. Big ears, no, it runs in my family. that they have smaller ears, but it's a little lower on the head. But they look like Nordics. Nordic people, the tall blonde, and both of them are blonde, but they got them all shades and colors and stuff. And since they look so human, that's the most.
Do they ever show up sort of camouflaged as human? I would think I know the reptilians.
No, they already look human.
Oh, okay.
They already look human. They look a little strange. If you get really close to them, if you ever go around and mentally see somebody that could be, you can say, "Hey, how you doing? Hello." And if they look at you, that's one of them. They usually like incognito. They're walking around and stuff. I mean, that's somebody who doesn't act. If you start interacting, then they're ETs, and they're usually aliens.
Okay.
So, but that's all you can see. It's not just all the little gray. I call them little midgets.
Right. Yeah. Who
But
did you get?
Those are the workers. I mean, the real ones don't even come down here, anyways. The bigger gray-looking things. So.
Yep. Diana, who did you get for Kim?
Well, I definitely got an entry through Mount Shasta.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
And definitely you are of the star ancestors. You have the hidden secrets, the lost wisdom. Look a little deeper within and you will find it.
Wow.
And so when we think about what they just found under the pyramid Kafar right? It's called Kafar. And the new tunnels that are there, and the fact that there are tunnels that connect everything under this earth,
right?
That they have discovered because of what they've discovered under there.
And Heather of the Crones remote viewed the pyramids, and she was down there, and it's in a different dimension mostly. What's there? It's like old caves and stuff. And they even have there's a small spaceship down there that is fully functional, and also it's got like stargates, like the Stargate show with that round thing. And by the way, I just recently found out that the war that we had in the 80s, Desert Storm, when they went over and beat the crap out of beat up Saddam Hussein. They were looking for that Stargate, and they actually got a hold of it, and then it disappear in transit. So they went and got it. This Stargate, and the thing is that they don't know exactly how to make it work. It was related to the Anunnakis. So this is from one of these super duper people who did the remote viewing for the government, and he said he saw it, and it was surrounded by it was surrounded by a draconian, one of the white royals, which is the nastiest one that you could ever come to. If you ever see one of those guys, just run the other way as fast as you can. They're not good.
All right. So Diana, how about Leah?
Leah, you've got to change your perspective on this because you're a Garian. And let me say this, you are of a Nordic race. The sources claim that discovered a vast system of caverns below the region of the Gobi Desert.
Oh, well, I got that you also had a Lyran lifetime. So, yeah. It says that gives you your confidence, purpose, potential, and fulfillment. So, yeah. I mean, obviously, everybody's had more than one lifetime off the planet. Yeah.
You've had, and a lot of people came from a different galaxy altogether. So,
sure. That we may not even
what came out of the Akashic record investigation that I did with Diana with her, that show that was in. I mean, I exhausted everything there. So, so we've been working together since the time before that planet blew up in between Mars and Jupiter. that is the asteroid belt
Uh-huh.
right now.
Ooh, this is different, Kat. I have you are a Cygurnus, Cygnus, Cygnus. I don't know.
Cygnus.
Cygnus?
That's the swan.
Cygnus. Okay. Grace, divinity, elevated consciousness, and royalty. So, yeah, it's the swan planet. So that must mean that it's got a lot of water on it, right? Would you say?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, the constellation Cygnus. So think of that.
Okay.
There's a planet also in there. There's a fixed star in Cygnus.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm getting that the Chitans is another part of the Mediterranean and the South American appearing tan-skinned humans.
Mm-hmm.
So that is part of where your starseed comes from and landed.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Wow. All right. We only got time for a couple more. So some people have put this in and we'll see what we can pull for you. But we are very close to an hour and we're trying to stay on course here. So Divine Universe, you have a strong connection to elves and starseeds, among others. All right. Okay.
So this is subterranean for sure.
Okay. Okay.
And elementals, and this is going to take us into the Hopi land and into the which one is that? Well, dwarfs, which is a subspecies.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what I was looking for. I just had my eyes on it. Sorry, because it went right with what you're saying there. And now, where did I leave it? Go ahead, Paul, while I look for it again.
I was thinking the ant people.
Okay.
Ant people, but they see the elves is the elementals.
Yep.
They're all over the place, and
Yeah, they are.
Diana has like a whole army of elementals.
Well, and it's you're in. I don't want to call it spiritual darkness, but your spirit is in the darkness. You're in below with them in the elementals.
Okay.
It's called.
Okay.
I can't find the. Sorry.
That's
I got
all right.
papers all over my lap.
I know it's not a problem, honey. I have a passed in Orion belt. So it says here Black League patterning, and I'm not quite sure what that is. I could look it up while you're doing what your guys are doing, but I've never heard of that before.
Well, Orion's where most of the gray civilizations came from.
Oh, really?
Not necessarily all grays. I mean, there's different kinds. There's humanoids there besides the grays, and the grays used to be humanoids too until they kind of like genetically altered themselves into some of them
it's
did.
The resistance. Thank you, Diane. I did see that. That's exactly the Black League patterning is fights the negative forces.
Yeah.
All right. Yes. Wow. Yep. All right. Very cool.
Yeah.
Miss Mims, I won't forget. You're the last person here for today. We are trying to make this a show that has a variety of different things in it, not just readings. If you want a more extensive reading, I wanted to just pass along the name of Deb Zackow, who can help you. Deborah Zackow has a channel here, and she does readings for lifetimes and the original place and then the starseed location. She's very good. But we're just using the cards, and Diana's still processing the information she has, which is on lots and lots of different pieces of paper. So
yes, unfortunately, I thought, well, it didn't help that I left it in another room. That certainly started.
Well, I wouldn't have been able to find it either, so don't even feel bad about it.
Well, Diana has a lot of dreams, and then when she wakes up, she tries to draw that out and write it out really quick. And usually when I do communicate with her, it's early in the morning. I just type it in there and send her the text message before I forget. because if you
Yeah.
wait till it's gone. So
Yeah.
I just like, and I go, oh, you know, maybe I'm bothering her so early in the morning, but and she does the same thing when she wakes up. She goes into the drawing and all the stuff that happens. I mean, I had a pretty good night last night. I spent most of the time using the med beds
Mm-hmm.
on board the Athena, so it was like a restful time.
So Miss Mims, I have one that showed up twice, so I need to tell you what it is. Again, you had a parallel life as an Essassani, and this brought you the alchemy for this lifetime. So, and it's the Essassani again. And I'm not that familiar with the Essassani. I don't know if either of you are, but
Yeah, I was just reading on it, but I'm sorry. It's a blank slate in my brain.
no, it's all right. It's all right. Let's see. They're a cross between human and Zeta. And they're highly evolved ET species that represents the potential for evolution of humankind. Let their energy influence you in your spiritual evolution, is what it's saying. And then it says, reality is created through our conscious and unconscious thoughts, emotions, and intentions. The essential Essanani teaching is the process of alchemy, or taking lead and making it into gold. That's
absolutely. And just to affirm all of that, it is Star Brothers, and the caption on this is Horus energy, protection, loyalty, safety, trust, brotherhood.
Mm-hmm.
This is it. This is it. Make no mistake.
They are wonderful. Well, that's great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
The Essenes. You know, we read the Bible and we think of it as the Essenes, right? It's just the same bloodline, the same star seed.
Well, no wonder. Okay, because I've lived in a scene lifetime, but I didn't realize it was connected to off planet. Okay.
But we touched on a lot of subjects.
Well,
I mean,
the giants, you know, the giants are part of this. The giants are what seeded human life. They're right. the angels that fell to earth and mated with humans.
Yeah. And the Smithsonian Museum had a collection, a huge collection of giant skeletons.
Yeah.
And then back in the early 20s, some evangelical guy got offended by that because he didn't go along with what he was teaching in his church, and he somehow had enough pull with the government. He got all that either destroyed or put away somewhere.
Well, they're all over in Mesopotamia because they're still uncovering them.
They're all over the place. I think it's the mixing of the Anunnaki with whatever was here. It's part of the genetic engineering. And there's also like stories from World War II and someplace in not off of Japan, Malaysia, one of those places where they have very old islands, where those soldiers back in World War II came across huge giants in the jungle, and the people didn't even go near the jungle at night.
They seeded the earth.
Yeah. So I mean, it's all around. They're not all over the place, and also in the Middle East, in Iraq. The soldiers came across some of those.
Right.
There's stories. Well, I mean, there's only stories you don't know stories. Because if it's the military involved, everything kind of disappears.
Well, the other thing that's fascinating to me is if you've ever seen the heads at Easter Island, there's actually below the earth, their whole body.
There's whole bodies underneath.
I know. Right. It is. Wow. Yeah. Thanks,
it's
everybody.
It's a fascinating thing when you start looking into it. I mean, you can just go into rabbit holes here and there and you get lost.
You can get lost. And so it was our hope to offer you all several things to think about here today on this particular show, but we can certainly, focus in on maybe discussing planets or origins or in later shows. but I just wanted to. But Paul, thank you for all your beautiful pictures. That for those of you who came in late, he made this beautiful picture here, and this is this is the new Mother Gaia that's going to be a water Gaia instead, and we just have an awful lot of wonderful information shared by both of these wonderful people. So we'll see you in 2 weeks, I guess. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
All
Yeah.
right.
If anybody has a
Bradley.
question or you want us to focus on something, shoot me an email at heartandsoulconnected@gmail.com and we'll see what we can do. All right.
I hope Diana is up to it. I mean, if there's material to talk about, I don't have a problem.
It is.
I'm
It is
sure
a lot of
something will happen in the next couple of weeks that we'll
Yeah.
leave it something to talk about.
Yeah. Well, things will drive. Paul, I told you we never run out of things to talk about. Honestly, there just aren't. So you never have to worry. You never have to worry. Plus, Diana and I, we love to talk. So
Well,
you know.
yeah.
Anyway, thank you very much. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Diana. And if you get a chance later, go over to Diana's channel and subscribe to it. It did stream. Some people said they didn't see it, but they were looking at the wrong one.
Yeah. Right now I have 2 channels. Both of them are like Oilpainter, but I think if you look for Diana Bowles, you'll find
they're all over there. See?
Yeah.
So, a lot of them.
I did find myself, but
okay.
I can't remember how I got there.
It will get better. We finally got her streamed. That's the important
gosh.
thing. Yeah.
So
This has been a fun week.
Yeah. Take care, everybody.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for having
Bye-bye.
us, and you all have a good day.
Very good. Thank you.